What's going on, guys? This is Blackbox with another video, and today we'll be doing dancing from HackTheBox, which is another beginner level box. And for this box, what we're doing is connecting to the machine's SMB server to access the shares hosted by that server. And one of these shares contains the root flag for the final task, which is this one. And now we're gonna start by spawning the machine. Okay, so now we have the IP of the machine, and we just double click it to copy it. And let me first ping it to be sure that we can be able to connect to the machine. Okay, seems like we're good because it says transmitted packet successfully, and I clear this. Okay. And now for the first task, it says, what does the three-letter acronym SMB stand for? Now this stands for server message block. Let me click server message block. Okay, and what this is a protocol that allows the sharing of files on a client to server connection, such as Google Drive, where we're able to access the Google Drive servers to be able to get files, videos, and download it onto our systems, and also iCloud, where we can upload files, and from any device we can access that same file on our system. And that's what server message blocks does. And it says, what port does SMB use to operate at? And that's going to be port 445. Okay, and it says, what is the service name for port 445 that came up in our nmap scan? And for this, we're going to have to start the nmap scan first. So nmap-a for OS detection, -vv for verbose output, -p- for scanning all ports, and -open to only give us the open ports only. And I place the IP and I click on enter and wait for it to be done. Okay, so the scan is done, and we can see a lot of open ports, showing that there are a lot of ports that the attacker can use to gain access into the system. But what we are focusing on is going to be port 445, which belongs to the SMB server. And from the question, it says, what is the service name for port 445 that came up in our nmap scan? And the service name is going to be, so we go to port 445 in the table, and we see Microsoft DS under the service tab, which is going to, so that's going to be Microsoft-DS. Now, what is Microsoft-DS? Now, Microsoft-DS is the name given to port 445 for the protocol SMB. And SMB is mainly used by Windows devices, so that references the name Microsoft. And it says, what is the flag or switch we can use with the SMB to list the content of the share? That's going to be the -L flag, and that's going to be capital letter L. I'm not sure if the small letter works, but we could test that out. So, and it says how many shares are there on dancing. So I made a directory for dancing, so we could be organized, and to be able to access that SMB client that is on the machine, we have to use the command SMB client, and to list the shares we use -L and add the IP to the end. And for this, we don't need, it doesn't ask for any password, you just click enter. It doesn't require any password, and I'll show you why in a second. Now we can see that we have 4 shares and the -L. So let me try if the small letter L works. Oh, it doesn't. So that's gonna be -L. And we have 4 shares. These are the shares name. Admin $C $, IPC $, work shares. and the type disk and IPC. Now what this IPC share does is that it allows anyone to log in into the server to perform certain activities such as listing and enumerating the domain like we are doing right now. And it also establishes TCP IP connection, which is a connection oriented transmission. So I'm guessing without this share, we won't be able to access this SMB client on the server. So that's gonna be 4 shares. And now it says, what is the name of the share we are able to access in the end with a blank password? So let's go back to this. And we see we have 4 shares. So to access shares on this client, we use SMB client. The IP, this isn't going to work, but I'm just giving that as an example. And we can see that it does, oh sorry, I missed the B. Okay, it asks for password, but it doesn't work. Okay, so we have admin C IPC and workspace. I just want to remember that. And then we click on add main $, enter. It doesn't work, and it gives us an error that says not enough // character in service. And now to be able to get access to workshares in SMB client, we need 4 / at the front of this, at the front of the IP, and either 1 or 2 at the front of this. And this is because SMB understands backslashes, but because Unix style shells, we pass them as escape characters, we need to use the double / instead. So if I use SMB client, it should still give me an error because I can't access that share. The IP, I'm using this as an example as well. $, enter, not working. So one of the things about bug bounty or pen testing is that you have to try different ways before you get access into the server. Admin C IPC and workshares, okay. So let me try what I said earlier. It says failed, access denied, because we don't have access to this particular share. So let us try the C shell shares. Access denied as well. IPC. Okay, let's. Oh, so there's nothing on the IPC. And to exit, we just click exit out of this new shell, SMB client shell. We just click exit, and then we try the workshares, which was the last one. Enter. And we click ls, and we see we're in the D directory with 2 names, Amy J and James P. And if you are coming from the Windows side of command prompt, you can also use dir to list directories, and we see Amy J and James P as well. And now one of the most better ways of connecting into a system and getting what we want is by just downloading everything we see, and we can get Amy. It's not gonna work because it's a directory, and instead we can only get files. So we're gonna cd into that directory, list the directory, and we see worknotes.txt, and we just click on get worknotes.txt, and we go back. Now what this tells the system is cd dot. It tells the system that I want to go back 1 directory, and cd dot just means go back to our present directory, so we don't move at all. Let me clear this out. CLS. Oh, that doesn't work. Sorry about that. And now if we list our directory again, we see we're back, and we already have worknote, which is from Amy J's directory, and then we go to James P directory. We see flag.txt and we click get flag.txt to download that file into our own system, and then we exit the server since that's all what we got from these shares. We clear, and we can see that we have those two in our directory. And now it says what is the name of the shares we are able to access in, and that's going to be the work shares. It says what is the command we can use within the SMB shell to get the downloaded files. That's going to be get command, and it says submit root flag. So let us read the content from those two files that we got. Okay, so this just shows like a to-do list of what they want the sysadmin to do on their network. And we also have the flag.txt, which will contain our flag. Okay, yes, and that contains it. Copy, paste. Okay, looks like we just did that one successfully. And thank you guys for watching my video. It would be great if you guys subscribe to the channel. Thank you and bye.